Hi, Christopher, your mom here. So excited for you embarking on such a dream trip today. Thank goodness you're finally taking off to Bali after having had it canceled 2 years ago because of COVID. But now you're going to be off tonight and you will be on a very long flight from San Francisco, California to Sydney, Australia, where you're going to meet up with your friend and travel on to Bali. I am so excited for you. I could literally turn inside out. Oh, I wish I could be a fly on the wall with you as you take this trip because I know it's going to be 100% magical. I know how much you absolutely adore surfing and what a privilege to be able to do it in an island paradise like Bali. You deserve it, sweetheart, and I hope you have the time of your life. Well, as you know, your mom has traveled all over the world, over 50 countries visited, and nearing 4 million miles in the air. So as a result of all that travel, I have some tips for you that I hope will make that long haul flight tonight more comfortable for you, and also that you will feel better when you land in Sydney. So here goes. And this is just these are some of the things that I do when I have flown all over the world, and I hope they'll help you as well. When I get on the plane, I adjust my watch to the time at my destination. That way, every time I look at it, I know I'm in the time zone of where I'm traveling to. I like to unbuckle any belt or anything that's restrictive that I have on so that I'm more comfortable. My clothing is comfortable during the flight. I also take off my shoes and put on a comfy pair of socks because feet have a tendency to swell up on these long haul flights, and so socks make that swelling unnoticeable. Although when you arrive at the destination, you may have a slightly harder time putting your shoes on, but it's still worth it because at least during all those hours, your feet are being taken care of. Another thing that I cannot stress enough that is so vitally important is getting up out of your seat and walking up and down the aisle. Do it at least every hour that you're not sleeping. This is so important. You need to keep the blood circulating, and you need to stretch and feel good and move around and give your body a little bit of exercise. I know it's not much, but I guarantee you it'll make a huge difference. Another thing is never, ever take sleeping pills. I know you aren't the type that would ever do that, but I used to do that, and I felt horrible when I arrived at the destination. They absolutely were terrible for my body and soul. I had the worst sleeping pill hangover in the world, so never, ever take sleeping pills. Another no-no is no alcohol. Alcohol is an absolute dehydration killer on flights. So I always stay away for it, no matter how much I like a glass of wine with dinner, no matter how tempting it is. I never drink on flights. Another thing that I'm sure that you've brought along is some device to listen to music to, and that's always wonderful because that's a very calming, soothing. It's very calming and soothing to listen to music when you're trying to kill all those hours on the flight, and it's also good for your soul, I think. Now, even though you can't drink alcohol, there is something you can drink, and lots of it, and that's water. I promise you, the more water you drink on a trip like this, the better you're going to feel when you land. Water is just so important, vitally important to keep you hydrated and feeling good. So that is absolutely one of the most important tips I'm giving you right now, sweetheart. And so water's your best friend on long haul flights. Also, if you have a backpack along, I'd put it on the floor, on the seat in front of you, and elevate your feet. That always feels good to me when I'm on a long flight, is to have a different position for my feet. Now here is something of utmost importance to keep you healthy and safe. Hygiene. Make sure that you bring antiseptic wipes on the plane with you. Maybe you don't know this, and I only actually found this out recently from a flight attendant. The dirtiest spots on plane are those seat back pockets and your tray table. So by all means, wipe them down before you use them, because they are known to be filthy. Ugh. I don't want you to get sick when you're on this absolutely splendid, wonderful, incredible trip of a lifetime to Bali. Another thing is I always bring along a toothbrush, because brushing your teeth feels very, very good after having a meal on a flight. And I do it usually several times on long haul flights. It just makes your mouth feel refreshed and nicer. But remember, take your own water with you to dip your toothbrush in. They've always got those little cups in the bathroom to use. Pour some of your water in, dip your toothbrush in it. Never use that bathroom water for brushing your teeth. It is, shall I say, nasty? Well, maybe it's not nasty, but it's certainly not as good as putting your own purified water in a cup and using that to brush your teeth. I love this because this just has paid off so many times. Be very kind to the crew. So many passengers are just downright rude, and I know that you are one of the politest, nicest young men that ever lived, Christopher. You are special. And I know this advice doesn't really apply to you, but I'm going to say it anyway. Just go out of your way to be nicer or share a story with them and make them feel that you're happy to be on board with them. It'll mean the world to them, I guarantee you. Now, this is really an important one that has helped me tremendously over the years, and that is ways to combat jet lag. When landing at a faraway destination after many hours on the trip, we're all tired, even if we've had some sleep on the plane, but notoriously sleep on the plane isn't really classified as all that good, sound, deep REM sleep that keeps us very refreshed on most mornings at home. But what I always do is when I land at a destination, no matter what time it is, if it's late in the afternoon, I'll go to the hotel, leave my suitcase, maybe unpack a little, do some sightseeing at places that are nearby. Then I'll go back to the hotel or to a restaurant and have an early dinner. And after that early dinner, and maybe I'll have a glass of wine with dinner, I will go right to bed, even if it's like 7:30 or 8 o'clock at night. And I guarantee you, sweetheart, that when you wake up the next morning, you are not going to feel one single bit of jet lag. Now, that's a really, really good way to start off on a magical trip like you're going on tonight. The other thing, too, is I'm not sure whether your flight is arriving early in the morning, but the same principle applies. You have to tough it out, and I mean tough it out, and it's going to be hard, and you're going to be having a hard time keeping your eyes open, but tough it out until it's time to have dinner and then go to bed early. And the same thing will happen. You'll wake up the next morning feeling refreshed, fresh as a daisy, as I like to say. So, my darling, wonderful son, that is my list of important tips for you as you go on this magical trip this evening to halfway around the world. I wish I could be there with you. I love to travel like you do, but I am so happy that you're having this amazing, amazing adventure. And I send you all my love and best wishes to have absolutely the best possible time you could ever think about having. And you will be on my mind for the next 5 weeks while you're away. Have a ball, sweetheart, and I'll look forward to talking to you from down under.